Hello beautiful people, and here we are, we're in London, and today is finally here, Slam Dunk South Hatfield. So yeah, we're just about to get the train in a little bit. We stayed here last night, was amazing. So yeah, and this is Camden Town and everybody's buzzing. So yeah, I just can't wait to get there today and find experience what the South one's really like. Now, as probably if you've seen, I've been to the North one a couple of times, but yeah, this is going to be a new experience today. So I'm really excited, got loads of bands to see. Judging from this t-shirt, you probably know what I'm going to see later on. So, let's just go. So, after a lot of bastard long queues, we're in. And yeah, we've got a lot of bands to see today, so we're just going to get to it. Got a lot of stages to jump to as well. I think the West and East stage on either side of the park. So that's going to be a fun transition later, but let's just go.
We are being called Knuckle Puck. We're from Chicago. And straight up, we never thought this could be real. So thank you for making that fucking happen for us. For the band of their hearts. We fucking love you guys. And we'll always come back if you have us. Entitled. If you know the words, I need you to sing them nice and loud.
Silhouettes on the ceiling. We were spotted by the Nissan healing. You know I haven't slept since you left, but for me that's progress. For me that's progress.
Okay, first pits of the day, and oh my god, it was fucking brutal, which heads up for tonight, so gonna be fun though. Now I think we're gonna see Icy Stars next, but I need to get something to eat, so let's just continue. So, on Mitchell Reviews Food Festivals, I have to impress. I have to say, fish and chip van behind me couldn't go wrong. Pretty decent meal, 17 quid, but they knocked it out incredibly fast. It was literally like that, instant. So, much it all in because it was easier to eat, but anyway. And I'm directly facing the Kerrang stage, which means Icy Stars are on next, so let's go.
institutional fight. Left in the shell of a person, I became the same.
Starts like that. Push the goddamn time.
That there's a difference between saying and trying and doing anything. That's the last of the summer. This is the last time you did it's been wasted. Crying in your teeth and you sleep till your jaw hurts. Finding the time to be saying I want this. It's playing like a rap. clear, I swear. Tied to a bottle, I swear, I swear. You can ask the Madonna if she cares, she cares. But she's hooked on the bottle, I swear, I swear. You know, it's the end, the first the universe. You know that we bleed but on ourselves. 'Cause I want you to have it all. Yeah, I want to forget that I could call. And I want you to have it all. Make a peace to myself to count it all.
Well, if I had to sum up the day so far, it's been pretty epic, pretty chill for the most part as well. We only have 3 bands left probably. The Used, Electric Callboy, probably a bit more day to remember as well. We'll see about that later. But anyway, we got not a lot long to go, so let's just keep going.
Stop my breath, and you're just waiting to get in. From my mind, hear your voice again. So we can listen and wonder where we've been. When you and me so deeply like you did, I stop feeling tired, soft as air. I'm melting in your eyes. I'm on my legs, can stay a while. I'm melting in your eyes, like my first time that I got fire. Just stay with me, lay with me now. My breath, the second half without you, I'm a mess. I'm learning to trust these words are strong. My guts are feeling, learning how to Turn into my love, back friend. I'm cutting out of that hats up in the sky, and we keep getting high. A magic down in this level that you cannot deny. I'm glowing up.
I don't wanna be an asshole, but you did it perfectly. So let's skip that song, okay? Yeah, we don't need to play that. Time is money, you know. You can't leave that behind. Just like it was a feeling, but I'm just kidding you. I got you, right?
Okay, guys, do me a favor and sing as loud as you can, okay?
The next song is called "Every Time We."
When you sleep next to me, I still feel your touch in my dreams.
Everybody.
Forgive me my weakness, but I don't know why. Without you, it's hard to survive. 'Cause every time we touch, I get this feeling, and every time we kiss, I swear I can fly. Can't you feel my heartbeat fast? I want this to last. Need you by my side. 'Cause every time we touch, I feel the static, and every time we kiss, I reach for the sky. Can't you hear my heartbeat? So I can't let you go. Want you in my life. I never let you go. We need everybody in this fucking place to do the next exercise. You know what? It's all about the energy. Let's fucking go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Everybody. Yeah. 1, 2. Pump and pump and pump and pump and pump. You ready? Let's fucking go. the moves, we got the moves, and everybody's like, oh fuck yeah, let's do it again. We got the move, we got the move, and everybody's like, yeah, let's do it again. We got the move, we got the move, so everybody put your hands say, oh, tonight is the night. We're free, slipping out clouds on the side, it's real life. We believe the summertime memories will never fade away.
If you know the words of this song, I want you to sit on somebody's shoulders and sing it with us. Help us out.
Stop feeling like every day's exactly the same. With the one track mind, I don't think I can change. Until memories start apart, we'll play, we'll play, we'll play. Burning me up, burning me up. Sensitivity, how you are. Lift me up, listen me up.
So now I'm finally back up north and finally got a chance to do this review properly. I'm doing it this way, a little desk thing, my laptop sitting here because we've got a lot of ground to cover. So first of all, start off by saying yesterday was monumental, and everybody who's at the Leeds one today, i.e. the North one, hope you guys had a good time in that and all. So yeah, I know, brilliant festival, and it's only got better each year, and yeah, and I just couldn't believe how good it was. So yeah, but let's just start from the top. So I've got a list of bands here that I saw so I don't forget anything anyway. So let's just get on to it. So easy enough to get to from London. You pretty much get the train from King's Cross, St Pancras, and then pretty much you're there within like 20 minutes. So that was easy. Now, I did hear about this before. When you get the train there, there's a lot of people at the platform, so you kind of have to just be really patient when you get there, because it only connects us at one bridge to up you go, and then up the bridge, cross the other track, and then onto the actual pathway you go to the park. Now, I was pretty much blown away by the fact that literally across the road was the park from the train station. I thought that's like the easiest access right there. As soon as we walked up a bit, was a little bit of a walk, and it did remind me a little bit of when each time I've been to Hafield Park, when you have to walk like a long time to get up to the actual like festival site as it was. So yeah, but we got in, no questions asked, and yeah, easy enough to find everything. And I'll have to say this, although it's easy enough in Temple Newsham as well, the lead site, I'll have to say it feels like the thing for the south one in Hatfield, it feels like a lot of things were a lot more like, it was a lot more easy walkable, if that makes sense. I thought the west and east stages were going to be miles and miles apart, but no, they were literally just like walked up the hill and then just round the corner and then you're at the east stage. So that was good, and all the other tents in between, you could pretty much stop by and just see any other bands. So I thought it was really well planned out, and the food stalls good were like opposite ends of each side of the park as well, so that was good. Everything was really spread out, so I couldn't fault the festival organisers for that. So in saying that, let's just get on to the bands. So the first band we saw, Sweet Pill. My brother recommended me seeing these guys, and yeah, they were pretty good. Kicked things off really well. Pretty chill to start off with, where it was for the start of that. Now, I will make a comparison with the two stages, West and East. It felt like, now, if you're familiar with the playlist on my channel, it felt like the West stage was more like the punk and emo stage. And it felt like West stage, if I remember correctly. Yeah, West stage was punk and emo. East stage was metal and hardcore. Well, more metal and hardcore that was. So, yeah, Sweet Pill kicked things off really well. Then we headed right up to the other side of the site for the East stage for Dream State. Now, this is another band I've really wanted to see for a while. And, yeah, because they some good electronic elements, which I really like. And I thought, yeah, they'd be good to check out. So, yeah, but I never expected them to be as heavy as they were. I thought, wow, this is just insane. And for the first couple of bands, I was pretty much standing on the sidelines for pretty much the start of it, to be honest, because honestly, when you get to a festival, you don't want, unless it's bands like you really want to see, sometimes better just to like gauge the energy of the crowd, just to see where things are at that moment in time, so you're not just going full guns blazing, you blow all the energy for the rest of the day. I've done that, and I swear to God, it's not fun. Which brings me on, very much so, to the next band I saw, Knuckle Puck. Now, I haven't seen Knuckle Puck for ages, but this was a very special gig they were doing these last couple of days. They're playing the whole of the first album, Copacetic, which is one of my favourite albums, and to say it was absolutely on point would be an understatement. And then very much proved exactly why, like, I wasn't in the pits for the first couple of bands. Their pits, I don't know why. Knuckle Puck aren't exactly like their heaviest of bands, but their pits were brutal. I mean, it's just like, almost like it was bludgeoning every sense of the way. I was just like, what is going on? So I felt, okay, so this is probably going to set the tone for the rest of the day, so I better watch out. But front to back, Copacetic was perfect, especially the end, Untitled. And I'm so happy I got to see True Contrite live after all these years. So that's the only thing that I kind of was let down by. They didn't really play that song. I'm glad they did. The only thing I will say is I do kind of wish Joe's mic was turned up a wee bit more. So, yeah, but at least that all happened and that was fine. So, yeah, I'm going to go on to some other little things about the site which definitely made it better before I go on to the rest of the bands. So, I've covered the easy walking distance between stages. I've got the list up here just so I don't forget anything again. I was also blown away for the fact that it was very, like, much more family friendly, to the point, like, everybody was, like, bringing their kids along. It was unbelievable, and they all had ear defenders and little trolleys you could take around, and that kind of reminded me a little bit, this sounds weird, it kind of reminded me of Disney World in a sense, just like, you had all the strollers and that pretty much rolling around all day, much easier, and, you know what I mean, and I always see festivals like that as sort of like, theme parks without roller coasters, if that makes sense. But that gives you sort of the general vibe and sort of gives the idea of what sort of day out it is. Something I've got to add about bringing your kids along just there. So I'll put the sign for it right there. But basically, all under 12s have to be accompanied by an adult at all times. So you can get the guardianship wristbands, as they say, and then pretty much, yeah, you're pretty much good to go. So that works out pretty well. But yeah, if you bring kids along to any sort of festival gig, just check the terms and conditions first to see like what the rules are and stuff. So yeah, and yeah, with your kids, whatever music you're into, you do you. So yeah, just thought I'd put that note in there. And that's what Slam Dunk is. It's a day out festival. If you feel like you're not ready, or if you want to introduce your kids to festivals, day festivals are really like the best way to go about it. So like you get the idea of the weather, the walk-in and stuff like that. Because like it or not, and I'll cover a lot more in the video, the festivals are a challenge. So you kind of do have to have your wits about you in that respect. So yeah, that's interesting. So shortly after that, I've covered that earlier in the video, but I went to this van where I got really good fish and chips, which were amazing. Now, festival food is festival food. It's expensive. So I paid like 17 quid for that big bit of fish and chips and with mushy peas. But I got it instantly. It was like that. Compare that to 2 years ago when I was last at Slam Dunk, i.e. Temple Newsham. I know they had issues with the food stalls and that being too close together and that. But, I mean, this was instant. It was amazing. Again, I can't speak for what's happening this year in the last couple of years at Leeds because I haven't been there. But, yeah, from that alone, that pretty much blew me away. So I love that. And then brings us on to Icy Stars. Now, I don't know if this was just a thing that was happening in the other stages, but it felt like a lot of things started running behind. And for what reason, I'm not too sure about. But at least it did catch up eventually. And Icy Stars, they were another band I kind of wanted to see for years, but managed to tick them off. But yeah, they were okay. They weren't brilliant, but yeah, that was okay. Now, when you are walking around the stage as well, if there's a lot of bands on, like there was for me yesterday, where you don't know like the full lineup, sometimes you just have to gauge it. You have to like just go around and just keep an open mind. And who knows? You might bump into a band that might become huge someday, and yeah, and you live, oh, I saw them then. So let's just bring on to the next bands we saw. So the next band we saw, I think, oh yeah, so that was, saw a bit of Movements. They were all right, but I wasn't really that interested, as I said. So, but from what I heard, they were okay. And then after that, we went over to the Key Club stage. Now, I don't know what it was about the Key Club stage, but if it was something to do with the tent or the setup or whatever, but whoever was manning the sound, I don't know what happened. It cranked the distortion up way too much to the point you couldn't physically be in there without ear protection. It was horrible. But yeah, I don't know if that was just something to do with the band who was on. Was it? Oh yeah, Heart Attack Man, I think they were called. So they were all right, but we caught at the very end of them, and then they pretty much finished. By the time the next band who we were going to see, Free Throw, were meant to go on. And yeah, I felt sorry for Free Throw in a lot of ways because they got like half their stuff left elsewhere, and yeah, they had to borrow a few favours here and there, but they pulled off a blinder of a set. So love them for what they did, and Hot Mulligan's crew helped them out a lot for helping them get back on their feet and stuff like that. So they were good. Right after that, we headed back to the West Stage to see Hot Mulligan. This is one of the bands who have been very hyped up over recent years, and the supporting Pierce the Veil come later on in the year, so they were really good. A few of their songs, like their vibes, so although I didn't really know much of their stuff, so yeah, literally was just there for a vibe and just to kind of get into the crowd a bit, which was good for that reason, so I'll give them that. So that was them. Who else did we see? Oh yes, now I had no intentions of seeing this next band whatsoever. Twin Atlantic. I've seen them enough times up here and stuff that and they're quite local to me anyway, that I didn't really need to see them again, but they were good, and it was nice to see them at a place which, you know what I mean, you'd like the least likely place you'd expect to see something like that. So after seeing Twin Atlantic, there wasn't much else I wanted to see for the rest of the days. I was planning on going to see Zebrahead as well, but the only problem was, again, this was a lot to do with, there was a lot of clashes round about as well, which, to be honest, didn't bother me too much. But I know it bothered a lot of other people because there was like stuff on other stages. Like, for me, I'd have liked to have also gone seen like Alkaline Trio and Less Than Jake as well. But because they were on at the exact same time as the two bands I was very much there to see, yeah, it didn't exactly work out. So, yeah, a bit of a bummer. So, that brings me on to the next band I saw at the East Stage prior to the headline act on that stage, The Used. Now, I only really knew that one song by them, which comes as no surprise as The Taste of Ink. And I was expecting very much that song to be the last song that they played. But no, it didn't work that way because, and everybody who's been to the North and South one now knows, instead, like Knuckle Puck did with Copacetic, they played the whole of their album In Love and Death. Now, unlike Knuckle Puck, where Copacetic's a perfect album, for me, it's a pop-punk masterpiece. In Love and Death was a bit more, it was a bit more weird to be perfectly honest. Don't get me wrong, sounds like a good album, but it just only catered to fans who were like, had been with the Used for a long time, you know what I mean? And yeah, unless you're like really, really, really into them, it kind of fell on deaf ears in that respect. So yeah, that wasn't the best. But it did set things up very nicely for the headliners, Electric Callboy. Now, I do have a lot to say about this, so it's going to be lengthy, and it's kind of to do with what I said in my little clip last night. Now, the stage I played on the East stage, don't get me wrong, the West stage was kind of bigger, but the East stage was tiny. I mean, this thing was so small, and to put into perspective, Electric Callboy have already sold out arenas in Germany, so yeah, almost every arena in Germany, so this just proves how much a big act they are, and they've already sold out Alexandra Palace, so yeah, that kind of tells you exactly how big they're getting. So, they were on this stage, and yeah, because of the amount of hype around them, I felt like there was a lot more people there to see them than there was to see like A Day to Remember and Neck Deep, although I feel like it was kind of on par in that respect. But as soon as they came on, I tested everything from the pyros to the stage production, everything, and I was really happy they had pyros. And if anyone was to tell me they're now on par with Rammstein, the answer is absolutely. I mean, like, their pyros going off like they are, but unbelievable. And you know me, if there's good pyros and good stage production, chances are I'll love the show anyway, despite if I love the band or not, or artist, whatever. But the only problem was, because of the amount of hype around them, especially in like the first 4 rows from the barrier, there was way too many people there than there should have been. And I don't know if it being uphill, the stage kind of being uphill, kind of made it a little bit more like dangerous in that respect, like sort of like an uphill struggle, if to put it metaphorically speaking. And basically it was just like, what is going on, like to the point you couldn't actually move for those first few songs unless you've been swathed about like that, which wasn't good. And when crowds doing that, it's horrible. And this is the reason why for most gigs I wear boots, because if you don't wear boots, you're easily going to lose your footing. It's horrible. So yeah, that wasn't the best, but the stage was fantastic. As musicians, as a live band, they're one of the absolute best right now, and I'm so glad, like we're Day to Remember on Thursday night, that I booked a ticket to see them again, as for both of them sort of as an insurance policy to make sure I definitely saw them and had an adequately good time this year. But I couldn't fault anybody in the crowd for them anyway. Everybody I spoke to was lovely, and if any of you guys see this video, hi, it's nice to meet you and stuff. So that was that, really good. Now, for A Day to Remember, I didn't think I was going to see much of them or get a good space like going down the front, because I thought it was going to be absolutely rammed for like Neck Deep. So Neck Deep were on before A Day to Remember, and I thought, and I knew that A Day to Remember's crowd like was the same as Neck Deep's crowd. They weren't even going to move like pretty much for when Neck Deep were finished. So like I felt it was going to be rammed anyway. But no, we actually, for the majority of us, we all got good spaces down the front anyway. So yeah, if you kind of like worked your way in a little bit for the pits and that, and we definitely did. Hence why I didn't really film a lot of their set, because I just wanted to enjoy it, because I got enough footage on Thursday as you guys could see. So yeah, that was good. But yeah, so they were fantastic. Their stage show was pretty good, although not as spectacular as Electric Callboy, but it still had pyro, so again, perfect. And the fact that we're down 4 with us all was a better like festival opener. Although I will say this, it felt like they played all their big hits like at the beginning, and then saved all like the stuff from the new album like towards the end, which made me think, that wasn't the best idea, you know, because sometimes it's a bit hit and miss when like, if you're a band that's playing festivals, in the words of Noel Gallagher, and I'm not the biggest Oasis fan, but in the words of Noel Gallagher, it's when you do a festival, it's play the hits, don't play new songs. And yeah, it was the same with The Used as well. Like, the fact they chose to play one of their landmark albums instead of playing the biggest hit was just a bit of a letdown anyway. So again, it kind of was a bit of a hit and miss in that regard. So yeah, it's not quite a Newfound Glory, because again, didn't see them, and there was a specific reason I didn't actually see them as well. And the reason for that is I saw the 3 of them, ironically, Neck Deep, Newfound Glory, and Day to Remember 8 years ago. And ironically, it was the last 3 of them on the West stage over the weekend in the Hydro 8 years ago. And I'm going to admit, Neck Deep were brilliant. Newfound Glory was shit. So they were okay, but I just didn't really like click with them that well. Then A Day to Remember's A Day to Remember. Day to Remember, one of my absolute favourite live bands, and yeah, it's from these last 2 videos, it's clear to see why. And they'll always be on my list of bands that I'll probably always see again. So it's giving me that good vibe. And for me, what it comes down to is when the show's on point, when the musicians are on point, and the crowd's on point, Those three things have to go in the same sentence. Otherwise, for me, it's not really a good gig. So, crowd, stage show, musicians, all three of them, those boxes have to be ticked. And Day to Remember was tick all of them. Electric Callboy did that as well in spades. So, yeah, for the two of them alone, it was perfect. Getting out. I actually don't want to talk about this because it was an absolute shambles. Anybody who tried to get a shuttle bus out of Hatfield knows what I'm talking about. And for that reason, is the reason why comments are switched off in this video. So, what can I say? Between North and South, which one was better? South, Hafield, and it's not even close. I mean, Leeds, Temple Newsham, I know they've made some significant changes to that in recent years, but just the way Hatfield was, the vibe, the location, proximity to London as well, and the fact that the problem with Leeds is the only way you can get out of there after the end of the night is getting either a shuttle bus, a taxi, or or driving your cars in and out of the site, which, by the way, for this festival, I would never recommend. Download's a different story, but yeah, if you're parking a festival over the weekend, it works out a little bit better in that regard. But if it's a day festival, and I mean, like, it's your first time going, and also, like, you're not familiar too much with the site, then I recommend just getting public transport in. It's much easier, and you're with other people who know, like what they're doing. So, like, if you stick together with folk, it's much easier in that regard. But, yeah, the fact with Hatfield, though, the fact that I've said at the beginning of the review, the fact that the train station was literally across the road, and the trains most nights run from like 1 in the morning, and the fact there's some few little pubs and that round about the area, so you can go like chill afterwards a little bit, made things a lot better, which is what we ended up doing actually. So yeah, in that respect, South was definitely better, and that's the one I'd actually recommend over Leeds. But it'll be interesting to go back, if I do go back to Leeds one year, and just see what it's like. And to anybody who has been to the Leeds one, yeah, just you guys had a good time, then that's all that matters. But yeah, so that wraps up this review for now. Again, I had to do it differently because, again, there was a lot of ground to go. Oh, there was one thing I forgot to mention, actually. So one thing I was really impressed with, and I don't know if it was the same at Leeds as well, but basically had these Wi-Fi spots where basically near the bars you go to the Wi-Fi zone. You can link up to like the pre-event Wi-Fi, and then you can get signals sent to like people and send messages really easy as well. Whereas if you went away from them, pretty much your signal's pretty much cut for the rest of the day, and it's horrible because you've been trying to meet back up with folk. It's a bit of an uphill struggle in that regard as well. I know I mentioned that word a few times in the review, but that was that. So yeah, I'm kind of glad I mentioned it. So for all those reasons, pretty much a great weekend. So that's that. Our next gig is going to be in 2 weeks' time, and I don't know if I've mentioned this actually already, but we're going to see Pulp again. So that's going to be amazing. And yeah, we're new album coming out for them as well. Exciting times ahead. And again, I know I promised this before I did this Slam Dunk weekend, but I will do a review soon, an update soon of some other gigs I've got coming up this year. And to say it's got bigger and more monumental would probably be an understatement. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in a couple of weeks, and see you later.